Assalamualaikum, dear students. Today our topic is meaning and types of agencies of education. This is unit third that we are going to discuss. First of all, you should know what is the meaning of agencies of education. By agencies of education, we mean those institutions or organizations of sources which play a significant role in the process of education. These institutions of education have been variously classified by different educationists. Some of the major classifications are as formal, informal, and non-formal. Formal में आता है स्कूल. पहले हम पढ़ेंगे स्कूल as an agency of education. Formal agencies of education are those which have a predetermined location, time, aim, plan, and curriculum, consciously and intentionally. यानी फॉर्मल में आता है स्कूल. स्कूल जो है वही है फॉर्मल एजेंसी ऑफ एजुकेशन. इसमें ये डिटरमाइन किया गया होता है लोकेशन, टाइम और एम, प्लान, करिकुलम वगैरह. There is a code of discipline. Some of the formal agencies of education are school, religious institutions, library, and organized recreation centers like museum, art gallery, and support club. School is an active and formal agency of education. It is a specialized agency which has become quite important in the growing complexity of cultures and civilizations. Now we will discuss religious institutions as an agency of education. In the past, life of the people was very simple. Churches and homes were the main sources of imparting education to children. The child used to lead the life with his parents. The family provided the child all those activities and experiences which were needed for his socialization and development of personality. Later, religious places like the temple, the mosque, and church began to serve this purpose. Religious institutions pay attention to the moral and spiritual development of the children. These provide us the history of the life of religious leaders and religious prescriptions. Religious education encourages the children to say their daily prayers, worship in religious shrines, and show devotion to God. Now we will discuss informal agency of education. Informal में आता है family and society. Informal agency of education are those in which education is imparted informally and unconsciously. These agencies lack family formality, rules, systematization, pre-planning. They have no code of discipline. Some of the informal agencies of education are family, society, playgroups, gangs, and youth membership groups. Family. Family is an agency of education. Family is the oldest and the most important informal active agency of education. It is the foundation of all social organizations. In the words of Ballard, family is the original social institutions from which all other institutions developed. It plays a very important role in the education of the child. Our Indian society is feministic in nature. It is at the very basic of all social, economic, and religious instructions in society. In short, family is a group of interacting personalities each which has a definite rule and status. The group is well knit together and has a personality of its own. Love, cooperation, sympathy, and friendships are the basis of the family. Now we will discuss society as an agency of education. Society has got its own place as an agency of education. Broadly speaking, family should be regarded as unit of social being. Man is a social being. He is born in the society and he has to pass his life in the society. School is also an important part of the society. Dear students, now we will discuss non-formal agency as an agency of education. Non-formal में आता है open school, distance education and mass media. The education which we get from open school, distance and mass media and through mass media are considered as non-formal agencies of education. Open school in Open schooling is a significant innovation for complementing formal education. The target of open school will be to develop bridge property courses for working adults and women who do not have any formal qualifications. Students of weaker sections of the society who can't afford to continue formal schooling. Dropouts who have completed class 4th or 7th, failure of class 10th and 12th, student during to undertake vocational and life enrichment courses. Students desiring to undertake vocational and life enrichment courses. Now, features of open school. Relaxed entry. Open school has relaxed entry regulations. It does not debar a student from studying an account of lack of formal qualification. Number second इसमें आता है self pacing, flexibility third, fourth आता है home based, fifth आता है transfer of credit, sixth आता है communication technology, seventh quality of teaching. Now distance education. Distance education is a modern system of non-formal education. It is imparted through correspondence or poster courses, contact programs, electronic media like radio, television, video and audio, cassettes, etc., and other audiovisual aids. The terms which are used for distance education are distance learning, distance teaching, open education, open learning, open school, open university, university of the air, university without walls, tele-university, out of school education, correspondence, learning, correspondence school, correspondence teaching. Distance education is that education in which there is no face-to-face contact between the student and the teacher. Definition of distance education. Definition given by Peter. Distance education is the method of indirect instructions implying geographical and emotional separation of teacher and taught, whereas in mainstream education by relationship between a teacher and students in the classroom is based upon social norms. In distance education, it is based upon technological rules. Now, mass media. Mass media means the media for the masses to communicate something. इस इसमें आता है रेडियो रेडियो एज एन एजेंसी ऑफ एजुकेशन थ्रो originally devised for entertainment purpose radio is now being widely utilized for education in the words of Shri N.K. Shrivastava. The radio is full of promise for the future of our education. It promises to become a potential force in educational practice and teaching procedure. As a supplement to classroom teaching, its possibilities are almost unlimited. Its teaching possibilities are now confined to the 5 or 6 hours of school day. It is available from early morning till long after midnight. By utilizing the rich educational and cultural offsprings of radio, children and adults in communities, however remote, have access to the best of the world's store of knowledge and art. Someday it is used as an educational instrument will be commonplace as textbooks and blackboards. Television as an agency of education. Just like radio, television are also the means of agencies of education. Televisions are means of mass communication. Its advantage over radio is that it appeals to both ear and eye. It brings to use sounds while hearing can also witness the scene. It is said to be the electronic blackboard of the future. It offers a visuality, the newness, which attract attention, creates interest, and stimulates desire to learn. Press as an agency of education. Press means the agency that brings out books, magazines, and other periodicals published and distributed in a country or community. As used in common language, the term press simply stands for the books, the newspapers, the journals, etc. Brought out by the printing press, it may be used as collective name for all the printed and the published materials. Educational values of the press. Desirable attitude. Number 2, morals. Number 3, intellectual development. 4th, social behavior. Character and personality. इसका 5th आता है and 6th is war time. This is all about unit 3rd. In next lecture, we will discuss organization and structure of education in India.